We're grateful to be on tonight with all of you. My name is McKay Allen. I serve as product sales volunteer chair for Crossroads of the West Council, and by me is Jake Bangeter, our director of field service for the council. So we're grateful for his support and the support of our professionals that help make all this happen. But most importantly, we're thankful to you, our volunteers, and really appreciate you being on unit leaders, the time, commitment, the effort. I'm right there with you. I'm in a Cub Scout pack 35, and a Troop 519, and it gets overwhelming at times, but we hope cells like Jerky are so beneficial for you and the success of your unit and everything you have going on. So let's go ahead and just talk through tonight what we have. Before we get into that, if you're in a position to jump on the chat, couple things. Love to know what unit you're from, and shout out to your district as well, what district and unit, and just highlight you there. And then throughout the evening, um, if there are questions you have, jot them down. You're welcome to throw them in the chat. We'll do question and answer at the very end of the broadcast. So we don't want you to forget your thought there. So jot down your thought in the chat, and we'll help you out. So anything else before we get going?
No, I think that covers.
Okay, everyone seeing our screen okay? Perfect, thumbs up, thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. We want to just share your success here and highlight the incredible work that you've done. If you look at this, we have increased every year in jerky sales. So we started jerky sales in 2019. It was Crossroads of the West, or excuse me, it was Trapper Trails Council and Great Salt Lake Council that served or sold jerky together. We did 43,000 in sales, and then more than doubled it in 2020, 2021, did a little more. Hit a little down year in 2023, but check out 2024 and 2025. We're at 274,000 and 263,000. Now, I believe we saw a jump in 24. Was that Jamboree that helped bump that?
No, that was actually 25.
25 was okay. All right. So we want to just celebrate you, the great work. We hope this sell is a huge benefit to you, and we hope to keep seeing this just jump up every couple of years here and continue that going. So give yourselves a hand and celebrate this, because this is pretty awesome. And a shout out to our leaderboard. Troop 724 with Peterson Inc. did 18,600 in jerky sales last year. Pretty remarkable.
Hey guys, can you advance the slides? I'm just seeing the main slide still.
Oh, all right.
Oh, is it not doing that?
Thanks for telling us.
Just highlight like slide. It looks like you're on slide 3 now.
Okay.
There we go.
Is it showing the whole screen?
Yes. Thank you.
Not sure why, but thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to jump in if there's stuff like that throughout. Thank you. Troop 74 did 17,000 in sales. Troop 146 did 14,100. Troop 271, 12,600. Pack 146, 12,419. Pack 724, 10,380. And Troop 636G, 10,200. That's our 10,000 club. We had 7 units sell over 10,000 last year. Rounding us off in the top 10, Troop 509, Troop 1111, and Troop 1481. The biggest thing I notice here is Cub Scout packs obviously can be successful in the jerky sale, but this is where troops really thrive. Something about it going into the summer season, scout camp, whatever that is, it just allows for this final fundraising push as you head into summer camp.
So. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, some of these were first time selling units, 271, 636G. Yeah, that was their first time, and they did great.
So if you're first time, there's a lot of hope here to have a very successful fundraiser if you're a first time selling unit. So welcome. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next slide here. Want to hear what your goal is. Why are you here tonight? What's your hope to gain out of this training? And what's your money goal? How much do you want to raise? Because we're going to talk through some tips and tricks. So go ahead and throw that in the chat. We'll take a second here, listen to responses, and love to just highlight what you as a unit hope to achieve this year.
Well, us over at Troop 636G, we are taking a little bit less of a strategy because we're not going to a district camp. So we chose to downscale our jerky inventory this year and try our hands at a couple other um, fundraisers in other capacities to do a little
Awesome.
bit more bringing in throughout the year.
Cool. I love it. So thank you for sharing that and congratulations on a successful sell. Just want to highlight some of the chat comments here. We have a unit saying council support and pay down camp costs. Yeah, camp is expensive. Totally recognize that. And we hope this is a beneficial fundraiser. Dave Cook with the Jamboree Scouts, 5,000 to 10,000. Awesome, awesome way to help your scouts get that final push before Jamboree, right? Wanting to take over from Emily this year, so I want to make sure we stay at number one. You got this, Shelly.
Yeah, I think you guys have been number one like 4 years out of 5.
I know they have. So really, really proud of the work that you're doing, and you got this, Shelly. It'll be a great year, and thank you for the work you're doing there. Selling tips and tickets. Absolutely. We want to help sell tips and tricks. I may have said tickets on accident there, but tips and tricks hopefully help this fundraiser be successful. So keep that in mind as you listen tonight. Hopefully we're able to provide some opportunity for you to succeed and some good feedback for you. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump to our next slide here. Did I go too far? Oh, biggest fears of the sales. You're welcome to put this into the chat. What's your worry? What's something that's on your mind as you think about this sell? And man, I think my biggest fear every year is, what about excess inventory? What if we make a plan, we go out, we work hard, and we have unsold inventory? Yeah, Dave saying that same thing. That's my biggest fear every year is I don't want to get stuck with this. And so hopefully we'll be able to share some opportunities and options to avoid that. Unsold inventory and double booked storefronts. Yeah, double booked storefronts are no joke. We want to avoid that at all costs. We're going to talk about how to avoid that. But in order for that to happen, we need everyone's buy-in and support to make that happen. So great thoughts. If there's any other, feel free to throw it in the chat. And we want to highlight what concerns are and make sure we address those tonight. Okay, let's talk about our product lineup this year. Jake, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, so we've gone from 5 products down to 4. Part of that is our last year's item, roasted garlic. They are not doing in the same size as honey barbecue. They've kind of discontinued that and they've ran out of it. But we've still got the 2.85 ounce honey barbecue, which is a better sale of the two anyway. And so we were content with that. Our number one sellers overall have historically been teriyaki, followed by original, and then honey barbecue anyway. So we're staying with those, and we kept the snack sticks because it's kind of a gluten-free option. If people ask, that's the one thing they could buy if they can't have jerky.
Yeah, and these are absolutely our top 4 selling items as a council. And so we're really grateful to have this product back. We're also really grateful for Bridgeford Jerky. You'll notice the prices have stayed put, right? And they've been really good to us in helping that be the case this year. And because we know inflation's messed with some numbers, but they were really intent on keeping these prices the same for us.
Yeah, we really appreciate their partnership. We are moving to an 8 ounce bag, so that's a half pound, because again, shrinkflation. Bridgeford Jerky has kind of gone that way with Smith's and other places.
Yeah.
They've been for better price points. It's just costs are hard to stay low with beef right now. But again, they've given us the best opportunity we could ask for to keep this to where it's 15 and 25. I know when I've personally gone out to sell with my unit, we haven't had anybody come and say this is too expensive.
Right.
And I've sold popcorn as well. And popcorn, they definitely say that.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about jerky, and I hope you see that for your customers, is this isn't a drastic expense compared to popcorn, right? An inflated price. When you buy an 8 ounce thing of jerky at the store, you're probably 15 to 20 bucks, somewhere in that range. And so this is very reasonable. So, okay, great. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the next slide. Sales timeline and webpage. If you've not gone to the Jerky website, utahscouts.org unforgettable.com/jerky. Spend some time here. It's worth spending 30 minutes just to get familiar with everything on there. There's a lot of information, some of it that may not apply to you, and other aspects that are like, yeah, I need this information. So I'm going to have Jake jump over here to this page. We're on the page now here. So let us know if you do not see anything there. But Jake, why don't you just talk about some key information and items here?
All right. So we've kept it, if you've sold before, we're keeping it the same as a base rate of 33% commission. And then your unit on top of that can select, and you do this as part of your jerky order, select if you want 4% of sales to go towards prizes or 6% of sales to go towards a council summer camp for this next summer. That seems to work out pretty well. That gets you up to about 39% total commission. I know for my unit last year, we sold enough to where for the pack to where that 6% pretty much covered our unit for day camp.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's really kind of a fun twist to the benefit of sales, right? Hitting milestones is you can apply this right to camp, and what a nice way to do that. No extra expense to anyone.
Yeah, so then additional incentives, a few of you on here have seen this before because you've hit the 10K or the 15K, but we do have some incentive bonuses to units that sell 10,000 and 15,000, and that helps for additional camp credit. And if there's something else that we need to work out, we can work on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I was just going to throw out there, what if there's a unit that sells over $15,000 or $10,000, but they're going out of council for their camp this year? One creative thought, like my unit, for example, they do 1 year in council and then the next year out of council. We switch back and forth every year. Guys, we can apply this credit towards next year's camp, right? And so we want you still to benefit from this. If this is something where it's, oh man, we're going to Island Park this year or whatever, and it's out of council, 2027, if you're back in council, let's apply this credit right to that. So to give you a leg up for that year.
Absolutely. Thank you. If you haven't done so already, this really just helps us out to know who we need to follow up with. If you haven't RSVP'd for the sale, please click here. It's really quick. It's really quick to do, but it also helps us to put you onto our newsletter.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you up to date week by week as the sale progresses.
So if there's other unit leaders in your unit that benefit from getting the newsletter, it's weekly updates, scoreboard, little tips and tricks, or hey, FYI, make sure this is done by this week. Get that RSVP done, throw on your other unit leaders' email addresses, and we'll include them on that list.
Okay. You're going to order your jerky through here as well. Yeah, we'll talk about when those are due next week, but you'll want to make sure you click that button. That's where you're going to make your jerky order.
And it's real simple. Go ahead and click on it, Jake. It's just a simple form. What district are you in? Are you a pack, troop, crew, ship? What's your unit number and product? What are you getting in prizes and various selections like that? So try to keep it very simple and easy to follow. If you run into problems, let me or Jake know and we'll help you out.
Absolutely. Then we want to know what your sales are like as you go week to week. So if you have a sale one weekend, please come back over here, click on this, and let us know, hey, how much did you sell last week? And then we want to know year to date. So if you sold 5,000 one week, then you sold 3,000 the next, then you're going to put in 8,000 the second time.
Right. It's growing on top of each other. And then if you're a unit where it's like, man, we haven't sold a lot, this is a great spot to say, hey, I'm having struggle, because we can help navigate jerky boxes to other units. We can sit down if we're early enough in the campaign to help you out and set a game plan on how to sell that jerky. And so we want to know in advance of what we can do to support you. So keep up on this. It really does help our district executives better serve you and help you during the jerky sale.
Absolutely. Another really cool feature that some of these units have utilized in the past, and it was one of their ideas actually, is an online jerky order.
Yeah.
It's been really awesome. So you can send a link, then they put in the info, they go to the next page, they put in, which scout are they supporting, which unit. And so that way we can make sure the credit goes to the right place. They pay in advance, and then we ship the product, and then your amount due on the end of your bill, this will kind of
just deduct from it.
From that.
So if you've done popcorn sales, it's no different than your credit card sales deducting from your total balance due, right? Same concept through online sales. So if you have family, friends, loved ones that are out of the area, this is a great way to have them still help and support your jerky sale.
Okay. Oh, we did just get this last week. This is our amazing letter we love to get for both jerky and for popcorn. It gives us some specified dates. I will say I have found that it may be helpful to take this into the managers and talk it through. They may give you some other dates that they'll allow you to work with, including not even Saturdays. They usually just want to see, number one, that we have this letter, that we are one of their preferred, fundraisers, and they may work with you on additional days. We picked these ones in particular. We'll talk a little bit about it, but there's a Girl Scout cookie sale that comes on in here in between, and we don't want to try
We
to
avoid
compete with
that.
but we also have our popcorn sale that utilizes a lot of these dates as well, and it's just been nice to have this partnership with Smiths.
I have found store managers at Smiths, as long as you have this letter, are not all stores, right? So be sensitive to they are in charge at the end of the day, but they're pretty flexible, or like, yeah, you can sell on this Friday too because you have this letter and it's this season. So yeah, great point.
I'm going to check the chat real quick. Let's catch up on that. Okay, thank you, Julie. Yes, so there is a time frame, and we'll go through that in just a second of when to avoid that, when not to sell at some of the stores. Real quick, this is the one that you're going to want to go to both for booking your storefronts.
Yep.
And then making sure you don't double book, which is what somebody here mentioned as well. So you're going to click here.
Yeah, so if you're a unit leader, if you're a unit leader that's wanting to book a storefront sale, this is the place you want to go check first. Come to this Jerky storefront locations. Any unit that has gone and booked a storefront location with a local store, we are asking you to please come in here to make your reservation public. That way every unit leader can see, oh, we've got Steve Winterton with Troop 72 that has the Smiths booked on February 27th and 28th. So I'm not going to book that same store. We cannot have two units show up to the same unit. That's a lot of work and effort on all of your part that can really mess with you. And we don't want that to be the case. So please, please, please check this document, and then go, and when you've reserved a storefront and visited with the store manager, got confirmation, thumbs up, go and input in the form that you have this booked. So we will check this on a regular basis. We will do our best to catch any, oh, we got two bookings at the same store, and we will default to whoever made the reservation on here first, that date on the far left side, and confirm that they were the first ones on here, and they get the storefront. So please, once you know, get it on here right away. Anything else with that?
No, I think that's the fair way that we've done it in the past. We really have mitigated this over the years due to this form. So just make sure you go there before you go check in with the manager. And then I think
so. These are up for grabs right now.
No, these are not up for grabs. Storefront locations. These are storefront locations that have been booked by a unit. So they know,
but we can go to the units now, or we can go to the stores now.
Correct. Yes.
Confirm dates.
Yeah. Great question, Dave.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so go to the stores now. You can start right now and go start reserving your storefront locations.
And when you go to click on the storefront locations, it will have this disclaimer, which again, I think Julie brought that up. March 15th to 30th, that's when Girl Scouts do their storefronts. We have seen this sometimes linger into April. So try to work with the Smiths to make sure that they're not booked for the same time frame you're looking for.
Yeah.
In fact, that happened once to our unit last year, but we were able to sell at one door and them at the other without confrontation.
Good.
So you sometimes can work through it, but they knew they were past their time frame they were supposed to, and they were pretty helpful.
We do want to be sensitive to the Girl Scouts have their largest fundraiser, and we want to support what they're doing as well. And so we have a strong relationship with the Girl Scouts. We've collaborated with them and want to make sure we avoid selling at the same time so they can have a successful fundraiser for their youth too, just like us. So please avoid those dates.
Yeah, and as soon as you submit on here, you can go back to the other page and it will show up immediately. So you'll be able to verify that went through. We also have a display flyer. This has been something that over the years people have asked for. It just kind of helps.
It's kind of like your ad to put on your table at a storefront, or when you're going door to door to hold up so people can see the product, the price, the size, everything.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
slap your Venmo QR code on the back of that, it makes it life easy as well.
Yeah, great point, Mark. I find if you put it on the same page, front and back, that's an easy way to do it. I usually will laminate and do two papers, one with the Venmo code and one with the product, tape them down on my table, and it's there all spring. So, but yeah, really good point, Mark.
The other thing you'll want to have outside of Venmo is a Square Reader or something to that effect. You're going to have probably half your customers that are going to say, "Oh, I don't have cash on me," and again, they can either then Venmo or do Square. So make sure you have those options. It will just make it a lot easier to get a yes.
Yeah, very true.
So the sale dates are February 28th to May 18th. The last few years, we have moved the sale to where you can start early and then end at our regular time frame, partly to fit in, working with the Girl Scouts because their time frame has shifted over the last few years since about COVID.
Right.
And so it is a longer sale. It doesn't mean you have to sell every week or anything. And we have a lot of units that will start early and just end even before those cookie sales. And then there's some that might not even start till after. And we can work with you either way on that. But that's your time frame to utilize. Today is the kickoff, of course. Orders are due next Monday. That really just means by the end of Monday. We're going to be putting our order in probably that next day. I may have to follow up with a few of you to just make sure we get all those orders in. But that's important to our timeline because we need to make sure that a product is ready for us the week of the 27th. We'll probably come earlier than this. We just put this because it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
We had one year in particular where it was quite the drive on I-215 with all the product
blowing off the trailer.
But that was with a different provider. So it's actually better right now.
It's been great.
And that just helps us. It helps our stress level and the jerky companies to make sure that they can fulfill our order.
And as a reminder, our drop-off locations here, let's just look at those. We have the Orem office and then Wadman Corporation in Ogden. So same places as popcorn. I will say the product is so much smaller. You can fit way more in a minivan, in a car, in a trailer, and it's not multiple trips. It's one trip typically, and that's it. So
definitely the box sizes, if you've done popcorn before, it's like a third of the size.
Yeah, they're great.
Really good for that. All right. So again, we just mentioned, just beware of some stores. It doesn't mean necessarily in your neck of the woods. There may be some that are available. Just keep an eye out for that.
And if you'd still like to sell door to door during that time, please do. You're welcome to do that. We just want to be mindful of the storefront locations. And so just double check with store managers. And if they're booked for Girl Scouts, let's keep them there.
Okay. We have the unsold product due at the end of the sale. That's May 18th. Again, if you're communicating with us early and often, it really helps because your inventory we can probably change. We can probably get some inventory to a unit that ended up selling way better than they expected and need more product, and that really benefits us, especially the earlier we know that. So just make sure you are communicating early and often about how the sale is going. Either to us or to your district executive so that we can help mitigate this issue. And, if we're all in communication and whatever, we can work with you on this number, but really we've seen where if units communicate and we try to help them, whatever, this usually isn't an issue. You can definitely liquidate this sale for sure.
Yeah. So don't be a unit that's stuck with product at the end and thinking that was a waste of our time, money, everything, because we just got bid in the end. Don't let that happen to you. Talk to us. We will help you. We want to make sure this is successful for you.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're wrapping up with the end of May, we make sure that we have the invoice correct and then payments are due just the week before camp, because then we can go ahead and throw your camp credits in at that time. But you have to make that payment before we can do that.
Right. That does drive it forward. So please get your payment in. If there's any discrepancy from your notes to what we have, let's talk about it. Come to a conclusion that makes sense for all of us. Great.
I'm going to ask can you guys see?
Is there an app for paying?
There's
Via
no
credit
app,
card?
unfortunately, not like popcorn sells. Wish there was, but it is not an option with Jerky. So setting up your Square Reader, setting up an account there's a minimal fee, of course, associated with that, or using Venmo are your best options outside of cash. Meaning though, too, Dave, to that point, The great thing about the Popcorn Sales app is it tracks your inventory, right? Product is sold in, out, it's tracking. We have to be the master trackers. So knowing how much product is going to a storefront location and treating that like a dollar amount. And here's our net return and so on. So
Yeah. Well, one more thing to say about it is if you may get some donations, I would recommend having a donation jar at your storefront tables.
people donate.
And what can be good is you can utilize that money even to buy against your inventory.
Yeah.
And
this is a trick from the Girl Scouts. Every tip they get, they purchase their own inventory at the end of the campaign to liquidate, and then they'll give it out as thank yous or gifts or COR or whatever, charter reps and things, charter organizations. So that's a great way, or do it like Heroes and Helpers for popcorn sales. So that allows you to have funds available. You still get credit and benefit, but you're not stuck with anything at the end of the campaign either. So
Yeah,
use those tips to your advantage.
You'll find a lot of people maybe aren't willing to give you 15 or 25, but maybe they'll give you 2 or 5. Or
I don't want jerky. Here's 20 bucks.
or how about I buy some for you to take?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that happens.
So use those tips to help offset your inventory. Okay, so what are we looking at here?
So this is another one of the links, but it kind of dives over to another page. So that's why I've kind of gone over here. But it's our calculator for like deciding how much you're going to order. So if you're a first-time unit that has 5 or less kids and you're a little bit worried, you just want to get your feet wet with it. So this might be kind of the ordering you'd want to do.
And show over here. So just to look at this, what you're showing is the amount of jerky you're ordering, number of cases, right here in green. And then on the right, it'll give you your whole commission breakdown. So as these numbers change, I mean, you can adjust any of these. It'll populate everything on the right here of, okay, here's our commission going to camp. Here's how much we're getting, total sum to the unit, and so on. So hopefully this is a simple tool that allows you to figure out how much you're ordering.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely you can edit it. You can play around with what you want to do with it. But this just kind of gives you some ideas of different amounts that you could order based on how many kids and parents you have interested in selling. Yep. And if you've done this before, and we definitely, if you can see here, pepperoni sticks, I would definitely go lower on that for sure than everything else, just because historically these other products definitely sell better. But it is important to have those because some people will want it, or it's the only thing they can buy in some cases. So that we've kind of put it in a 2 or 4 to 1 ratio, depending.
So those are gluten free and the others are not?
Correct.
Interesting. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of their jerky has some of the Sweet Baby Ray's sauce, and that affects
It's not
the gluten.
gluten-free. So yeah, you do have the snack sticks that are gluten-free. So good for your scouts to know that little tidbit as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great selling point on the sticks is people will be like, oh, what's the ingredients? Well, these are gluten-free.
Yeah.
That's
good point, Jackie. Thank you.
We've had good luck with the pepperoni sticks because they actually have some mass to them. So when somebody picks up this, when people are picking up the items and looking at it, and that's also important too, is always hand the product to somebody when they're asking what you got, to get something in their hands. Kind of that coercive method of selling.
Yeah, good point. They're touching the product, they're feeling it. Great. Okay, any other thoughts here?
Hey,
Okay.
I have
All right,
a
yeah,
question.
sorry.
We have someone here real quick. Sorry.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm at my scout meeting and there's pack meeting and everything, so it's noisy. So for it, like with our pack and troop, like I typically oversee the pack and the troop, so we do it together. So how does that work, like with camp credit or like, I don't know.
Yeah, great question, Julie. And surely it's up to you and the unit leadership on how you want to handle this. My recommendation would be keep it simple. Treat it as one unit selling, and then after the fact, you can divvy out, okay, work with all the unit leaders, how much needs to go to the troop versus the pack. Here's how many hours Johnny sold and Susie sold and so on. Just for your sanity, I would say keep it all lumped together if you're truly selling together. That way you don't have
That's
to
like
have
when I'm
headaches.
doing my order, because it's been a hot minute since we've done this, and
Yeah.
my dog that loved to eat cases of jerky is no longer here. So I'm like, hallelujah. Didn't like buying it for her dog treats, but
Right.
just trying to keep it simple and organized. Like,
Yep. That's totally what I do then. And then just as unit leadership, come to a decision on camp credit, and you just tell us where you want that camp credit directed, and
Okay.
we'll do it for you.
And then if we were to do prizes instead, like, I don't know. Like, are the prizes like specific, or is it like Amazon gift cards?
Yes, Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, so you'll get a little Amazon gift card for $200 or whatever the number is. And then as a unit leader, what I've done with my scouts is, okay, mom and dad, go through Amazon. Here's your budget of Susie got $20 of a gift card, John this much, and just tell me and I'll just order it for everyone and we'll do it as a pack meeting.
I mean, that to me, that's like beneficial with like my little arrow of lights going up that may need like 0 sleep, degree sleeping bags. So
right,
maybe to help get some of that camping gear. So okay,
great. Okay.
One other bonus to the pepperoni sticks is they're individually packaged. And so, like for me, I think I bought 4 boxes last year, or 4 packages last year, but they were the easiest snack to throw in my lunch pail.
Mm. Good point. Yeah, they're tiny too, right? They're easy.
Right. Right. So I would take 2 and grab 2 string cheese and call it a snack.
Yep. Yeah, they truly are snack bites, right? So that's perfect, or snack sticks. So thank you. Great. Loving all this feedback and thoughts. So we just want to talk about 3 keys to success. What are best practices? Require each scout to sell in the fundraiser. This is simple, but it makes all the difference for the unit engagement. It's not you as one product sales chair or the one unit leader trying to make this happen, and trying to get everyone to participate is so hard. But when the unit leadership is all on the same page with this of, hey, this is just what we do. We expect everyone to participate in at least one storefront sale for 90 minutes or whatever it is, that makes a big difference for a unit's success. Because what usually happens is that one storefront that a mom or dad says, okay, we're supposed to do this. We'll sign our son up and we'll get him out there. And then the kid says, that was awesome. I'll do it again, and then it's contagious. So any other thoughts with that?
No, I think that's the right way. It really helps motivate some of the kids that maybe don't. If you have a good weekend sale and you come back on your next week's, den meeting or whatever it might be, and you say, hey, we sold, $1,500 worth, and, great job of these guys. And then they kind of talk to their peers and say, yeah, this is what I said, when talk about here, scouts practicing their pitch. They say, hey, this is what I say to the people. And hey, I would love to, have you sell with me next time. And it can really drive momentum when they see others having success. So maybe they might start a little bit, in a worried way, but then they'll see success, and then that will really help motivate them for the future. Yeah.
Second point, have scouts practice their pitch. What are they going to say to the customer at the door, right? This is probably the thing that every scout will start to panic about if they don't know what they're going to do. But if they do, it's way less scary for them. So what I do with my unit is all the scouts line up. I tell them the pitch that they're going to practice, and then they all recite it together. We're all doing it out loud. Then they're standing in a line and they're practicing their pitch, and they're going to turn to their neighbor and they're going to practice. And then as they come forward in the line, they got to tell me their pitch. And my 2 things, I say, you got to be loud and you got to talk slow. And so it's really simple. As they go through the line, they say it to me, they say it to their peers. Then we go back through the line and they stand in front of everyone, the entire group, the scouts, the leaders, parents, everyone that's there, and they do their pitch one more time. That scout has done it 15 plus times just in 5 minutes, just practicing in that little scenario. And so keep your pitch on script too. Have your scouts memorize the exact same phrase. And as they get older, maybe they tweak it a little here and there, but it's very simple. It's, hi, my name's Everett. Would you like to support my scouting adventure, please? I'm selling jerky, right? And that's it. And so it's personal to the scout. It's why they're selling and what they're raising funds for. And then it allows the customer to engage. And it's not just no, get out of here, right? Like it's, oh yeah, I guess let me hear. But then scouts will get questions after that, and that's okay. That's where you as a unit leader can jump in and help them. They might say, well, what product do you have? And the first 3 times the scout's going to be like, jerky, right? And they might forget what's there. So it's, hey, we have honey barbecue. You're reminding them those things. And then by person number 3, 4, or 5, oh yeah, we take cash. Oh, no worries. We take credit card if you don't have cash, right? All these little things.
Yeah, one more thing is they learn to face rejection. And the best way for them to bounce back from that is anybody that says no, you just say, hey, you know what? Thanks. Have a great day. I've seen lots of kids in our own unit that will say that, they'll smile, and that takes any negativity away. They're just ready to go ask the next person.
And sometimes you'll even see, like I see it with my own kids, when they say thanks, have a nice day after someone said no. Sometimes they like mull over it in the store and come back with a donation and like, hey, you actually were really polite. Thank you. Here's a donation to what you're doing. So encourage your scouts, help your scouts, but practicing their pitch. Then number 3, no more than 2 scouts and adults during a storefront shift. I'll never forget the first year we did jerky. We failed to communicate this to unit leaders. And so I went to a storefront cell to just check on a unit, see if they need any help. And there was probably 15 kids there and 5 unit leaders. And it was chaotic. And I thought, oh no, what did I do? I didn't help them. I didn't teach them or help them understand, because scouts were running around. Some scouts were kicking a ball against the wall, and there were leaders at the table. There were no scouts talking to anyone. The scouts started distracting each other from the focus and reason that they were there. So I would encourage 1, at most 2 scouts at a storefront shift. It's always great if you can have a brand new scout or a less tenured scout with an older scout that's done this before, or just has a little more confidence because they can help teach, train, understand what to do.
Yeah, another reason for this too is, you can really intimidate the customer base with too many people, and it can also affect your relationship with the store.
Yeah.
So definitely don't want to do too much there. If you have a store that has 2 doors, then maybe you could invite 3 or 4, but you need to make sure you have 2 or 1 at each door and not 4 at one.
And you'll get your most bang for your buck by having 2 or less scouts at a storefront cell. If you have 5 scouts there, you'll still get the same dollar amount as if you had 2 scouts there, right? And so just be mindful of that, of shifts throughout the day. 90 to 120 minutes, right? 1.5 to 2 hours are those shift times that are kind of the sweet spot. Okay, some final takeaway items, then we will open it up for question and answer here. Newsletter to be added. Go to our Jerky webpage and click on that link on signing up to sell, RSVP to sell, and you'll get added to our newsletter. Your order is due this upcoming Monday, February 2nd. So after this call, talk to your unit leaders, get on the same page of how much jerky you're ordering, and submit that in online through the website. Use the unit projection sheet. This really is a simple tool. You can play around with the numbers, but it helps if it's like, okay, summer camp is going to cost us X number of dollars, or our next 6 months of scouting, 1 year, whatever, this is how much we need. This is the way to do it. And that will help you know this is what will come into our unit bank account so we can do our scouting. New online sales options available using the Jerky Online Take Order link. We highlighted that on this call, but this is a great way to do online sales for jerky. And then work closely with your district executive. We ask our district executives to reach out to you, the unit leader, on a regular basis during the sale to check in, to see how things are going, see if you need any help. But if you are struggling at all, reach out. If you have successes and need more, reach out. We need your district executive to be able to, we need you to tell the district executive what you need so they can most appropriately help you. And then we'll have a weekly leaderboard. So please go in, update us on how your sale is going online. It takes 30 seconds to fill that form out. How much jerky have you sold year to date? And get on the top of that leaderboard. We'd love to see if someone can be the new crown this year, but Peterson Inc. is doing an awesome job and want to see them keep it going.
And one more note on that is you can add pictures on that as well, because then we can highlight you or put it as part of our Facebook, Instagram posts to just highlight jerky and remind people, the consumers that, hey, our people are out there selling. We'd love to have you go look for them and buy a bag.
Awesome. And I think that's our last slide. Is that right, Jake?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna stop here and open it up for question and answer. But before we do that, thank you for being on this call. If you're got the information that you need and ready to jump off, We appreciate you being on. If you want to linger longer here and get all your questions answered, please stick around. But have an awesome jerky sale this year. It's going to be a success. I just feel it this year. We're going to have a really strong jerky sale this year. So thank you for all that you do, unit leaders, and have a great time. So with that, we will open it up for question and answer. And you're welcome to unmute for this.
So Jake, I was a minute late. Who's the other gentleman who's speaking? What's your name?
Yeah, Dave, my name's McKay. I serve as the council product sales chair.
Okay.
And my information, I think it's on the webpage as well.
Yeah.
You're welcome to reach out to me. I know I get popcorn emails, jerky emails all throughout the year, but yeah.
So what's the secret for those successful troops and packs? What's their secret?
Yeah, I think what we just highlighted here, those 3 keys to success at the very end, having your storefront sales. Here's the biggest secret, right? As a unit leader, get your cell mapped out now. If you wait too long, it is going to be one of those things where it's like, oh shoot, it's April and I don't have anything booked, right? And so to me, that's the biggest key to success as a unit leader. Get everything mapped out of when you're doing your scouts practicing their pitch to when storefront sales are, get those registrations set up. Here in the next 3 weeks, if you can do those type of things, you will have a really successful fundraiser. Any other thoughts there?
Yeah, that pre-preparation will be huge. If you've got some stores that you're interested in, now's a good time to start talking to them. And you can also begin at any time now to do some online sales as well.
Walmart versus Smith's. Can you sell at Cabela's? I mean, are there any restrictions?
So
yeah, always just getting the store manager as the person that's authorizing it, saying yes, or whoever they say, talk to this person, they can help you out, right? But Walmart, I've seen varying success. Sometimes it's very successful, and other locations not overly successful at Walmart for whatever reason. But Smith's, Harmon's, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, those type of stores always seem to do very well.
Yeah, just make sure that it's not already sold in the store, because the price point in the store is a lot less than the fundraiser.
Good
There
call.
are stores that say sell this product.
That usually doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Packs, most of the time, units that I've had start off with that concern, and it doesn't even come up. You know, if somebody's just really looking for the cheapest, yeah, they're not going to buy it from you. But for the chance to support their scouts, they don't. It's usually not even an issue.
Most of the time, I find a customer to a store is not going there to buy the jerky anyway. And so it's more of like, oh yeah, there's jerky, cool, right? And so hopefully that's what we are for the customer is, oh, this is great.
Has anybody sold at things like big events, like sports events, or like soccer, soccer fields with 100 games
Susan, it
going
sounds
on,
like
things
you
like
have
that?
maybe.
yeah, so we've had opportunities where we've had community events where we've been able to set up a booth, whether we're selling other crafts that we have sold, but we've also had the jerky there available. We've gone to Lowe's, which is a great place to go on a Saturday if you can get it. They
Don't go on
do
a
limit
weeknight
it to
to
just
Lowe's.
one. Depending on the manager, like they're like, we'll let you do it one day, and they'll do it for one popcorn, one jerky. But yeah, just really get with your locals, because we don't have a Smith's in our little town. In order for us to do Smith's, we have to go to Logan or Brigham, and usually those are tied up with other troops. So we use our local grocery store, Kent's, and they've been super supportive with us.
Cool.
So really just communicate with what is busiest around you.
Great. Thanks, Susan. Other thoughts, Jackie?
Yeah, I was just with Dave asking like what's the secret sauce? In my opinion, that would be make sure your scouts are in full uniform. I think they would call the Class A field uniform now, right? Full field uniform. Have them wear their merit badge sashes. People love seeing their merit badges that they've earned. People who used to be scouts love to stop and look and go, oh, what have you earned? It's a real point of engagement, and just really looking tidy. I mean, I understand we're down here in St. George, so by March our kids are in t-shirts and stuff. Easy to be in their full uniform on display. Maybe not as easy up north where you're still in heavier outerwear, but as tidy as they can look is going to be your best initial foot forward visually. And we have a rule with our troop of unless a scout has an injury. We had a scout with a broken ankle one year. He was, of course, allowed to sit in a chair, but otherwise, we ask our scouts no sitting while you're working at a booth. You know, your shift is only 2 hours long. If you need to go to the bathroom, great. Take a buddy, but otherwise, be on your feet. And we try to ask adults who are participating to, you know, kind of be a little more aware of not sitting and lounging, because the more that's happening, the more people are just kind of like, no, you know, if they're looking really presentable on their feet, I think you get a lot more traction.
Jackie, you're spot on. And truly, parents, leaders, your job is to stand behind the table, be there, look sharp, answer questions. Don't talk other than that, right? Let your scout interact with the customer. Sometimes the store is a little picky on, hey, we don't want the scout standing right beside the door. I always start my scout there and wait till they're told not to. And so that's a huge benefit, is put your scout right by the door. They talk to every single customer.
And
if you're waiting
visible
for the customer to talk to you, it won't happen.
Yeah, visible. Don't let your scouts like pull back and hide behind pillars
Yep.
and, you know, things like that. The less visible they are and the more they look like they're lounging and not there for a purpose, people don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, great points, Jackie. Mark, it looks like you have your hand up.
Yeah, so I got a scout that sold $4,500 in popcorn last go round by himself. And I'm not going to give you all my secrets until my tenderfoot and my Weeblo get their eagles and are out. But I will say this. The key that I've got is ABC, right? Always be closing. If somebody's got an excuse, they're selling you on why they can't buy, right? So, oh, I don't have any cash. We take Venmo. We take a card. That's really expensive. Like my tenderfoot's great at that. He's like, you know what? Don't think about it as buying jerky, right? Think about it as making a donation to Scouts and getting jerky as a benefit, right? So you make this donation and you get a bag of jerky. They've got a line for every excuse that somebody can come up with. And then again, if they don't sell them, they hit them with have a great day. And usually that ends up with, here's a couple bucks for the effort.
Yep. Yeah, having an answer. And some of our top scouts in the country, that is exactly what they're doing, that sell 25, 30,000 a year by themselves as individual scouts, is they have an answer to make it a yes. So great points. Any other thoughts, questions from anyone? Okay. Hearing none, thank you for being on the call tonight. We'll go ahead and wrap up. And man, it's going to be a good sell. So thanks everyone for being here. Have a good night.